Beautiful angle.
Planning, standing, all the time is spanning, waiting for the show to grow. Writing, fighting, all the new inviting, waiting for the show. Soon we'll see all the hard works come to the peak. Have a seat. Now let's meet. This is Sirius AI, and we are seriously caffeinated.
All right, welcome back to yet another supercharged, super caffeinated, super powered, hydro powered, aquaponic episode of Seriously Caffeinated. Coming at you live from Austin. My name is Sean.
And I'm John, and I am especially hydroponically inclined to say that I'm also coming live from a place called Austin.
Good stuff,
that's-
man. Why
that's-
aren't you hanging out at my place right now? Well, where could you possibly be that's better?
I'm at a place called Radio Coffee and Beer, and then I'm also hosting a writing circle. So if you're someone who watches this Seriously Caffeinated podcast, you should join the writing circle because we write about silly things sometimes. That's the best way
Sometimes,
to
more
say it.
like every Tuesday at 9 Eastern. We are here because we've got a special guest in this room, someone whose face refuses to be shown until his grand entrance beside his avatar. You can see right on your left.
Yeah, what's that
Your
say?
right.
Cameron.
Drum roll, please.
Da, 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 da,
There he
Actually
is.
pronounced Cameron.
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 Awesome.
That's
Wow.
That's actually very clever.
Hey, you're that guy that does voice acting work, aren't you?
I do that stuff.
And you
Right.
also do a bunch of awesome theater stuff?
I do the theater stuff. I do a lot of the theater stuff. I've been doing the theater stuff since I was a wee lad. By wee, I mean like 15 years old. But I'm almost
Wow,
25,
that's
so
amazing.
I know. It's
Wow.
insane.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
so-
having me.
Cameron. If my information is correct, you are playing the voice of Victor Lovmin in Sirius AI, postpartum musical. So, yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about, yourself and how you got into voice acting and everything like that.
Right. Well, as you know, my name is Cameron.
Mhm.
Actually pronounced Cameron, but everyone calls me Cam. And I've been doing general acting since pretty much since I learned to walk. I've always been into watching movies and theater type stuff ever since I was very little. And I've always been interested in just the concept of acting. I did, some sketch comedy type of stuff when I was, a kid with my friends throughout elementary school, middle school, but it was high school when I really started to become passionate about wanting to act. So I did a lot of theater throughout all my high school and college years.
Did I hear you correctly? Did you say you did elementary school sketch comedy?
No,
That's
not-
awesome. It's very based.
Not officially, but I did some stuff with my brother, just with a little camcorder, just goofing off.
Just riffing, just a couple of boys, just riffing
Pretty
it
much.
out, yeah.
All the funny ideas came from him. I never had funny ideas when I was a kid, but then those funny ideas were imparted into my brain, and then I started having the crazy concept ideas and whatnot.
We do love a good concept here.
The
We do.
camcorder in the hands of a child is one of the most powerful things ever. I remember making so many Star Wars lightsaber fights with my neighbors, and we would add the lightsaber effects after. You can do it. The imagination is unlimited if you have a camcorder.
It's
A
true.
camcorder.
Do the kids even use camcorders these days, or is it all on the iPhone and the iPad?
I don't know anymore. I haven't seen that stuff in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we still have those camcorders in this house.
As an elementary school teacher, I can answer that. Well, a lot of kids want to be YouTubers, but most of them want to just do like Let's Plays and like play Minecraft and like, you know, have themselves in the corner playing Minecraft and stuff like that, or Roblox or whatever they're playing. I don't know too many kids who like get outside and actually record things, or at least like that's what they say that they want to do, you know. Anyway, enough about elementary schoolers doing stuff. So cool. Well, thank you so much for the background on you, Cam. So in Sirius AI, you are playing the role of a hermited crazy guy who lives in the mountains, and he's hidden away from society. And his name is Victor Lovmin, and he is the one that creates our main character, Sirius Artificial Intelligence. So obviously that character is definitely someone that's a bit of a challenge to get into the headspace of. But why don't you tell us a little bit about that character? I kind of introduced him, but
right. So being Victor Lovmin, well, that is a great segue into my background as kind of a voice actor, which I have a lot less official experience in. You know, this is my first time actually like kind of like getting work as a voice actor. I've always been interested in the idea of voice acting, just standing inside of a booth. You know, it's a whole different ball game than, you know, going on stage or in front of a camera where you have to like look the part, you have to act with your face and your body. But you know,
you gotta be the marble,
right? Exactly. But the idea of just, you know, standing in a booth and just having a script in front of you and just reading off these lines, and you're literally just like, this is the tool that you're using, you know, a little bit of this, of course. But I've always loved that idea. And over the years, I've experimented a lot and, you know, had a lot of practice with manipulating, you know, my voice, doing different things and whatnot, and doing various dialects. I love working with dialects. Any chance I get to work with various dialects is just a lot of fun. And so when I was approached with the role of Victor Lovmin, and you know, I was kind of given this this character description of who Victor Lovmin is, and I used all that information that I was given to kind of develop what I wanted the voice of Lovmin to sound like. I'm like, okay, Lovmin I tried a few different things and came to the conclusion Lovmin should sound, yeah, he should be kind of an eccentric kind of guy. You know, his voice should be up here a little bit and kind of bounce up and down, and he should be like a combination of kind of kooky and eccentric, but also very wise and philosophical, and kind of finding that perfect balance between the two in my voice was a fun challenge for me. And also kind of throwing in that little mix of he's not really old, but you know, he's like a middle-aged gentleman, and kind of just throwing all those ingredients into the pot and just kind of seeing what the result of that would be as I started to record my lines. And you know, I started to make it all happen, and eventually I came with the final product, which was Victor Lovmin, and it sounded like this. And then we started the singing aspect, and that was a lot of fun working with Devereux, and I loved hearing all the songs that, you know, he gave to me. Like,
was it difficult for you to like use that voice while you were singing? Like, I would imagine, like, if you're using so much of your energy and power to like manipulate your voice, I mean, like, singing adds a whole nother dimension to it. Was it a challenge, or did it kind of like, was it just like getting the voice the hard part?
Yeah, it definitely presented a challenge, because, you know, anytime that I'm in a musical on stage, you know, anytime I'm asked to just sing, you know, 90% of the time I'm singing with my voice. I almost never presented with the challenge of having to sing with not my voice and having to manipulate it.
But every once in a while, you get that little 10% where you are presented with that challenge. And I like being presented with that challenge of having to, balance not only the voice of Lovmin, but also the kind of, what's the word for it? The
Timbre.
All the little knickknacks that goes into, into voice acting, and combining that with the singing aspect. It does present a challenge, but when you have that challenge and you feel like you've got it down, that in itself is a very rewarding feeling. I'm pretty proud of the end result, and it was fun to work. It was fun to do.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely, just for context.
Text of con.
Yeah, for the context for everyone listening is that we were actually gonna, when we were auditioning for this part, we were looking for something a little bit different, but then Cam came in with his own version, and it just worked. And so we actually kind of shifted, not dramatically, we didn't change the lines or change the backstory or even really the design of the character, but we did start changing the direction that we wanted to present this character because of Cam's audition. So I would say that you definitely stuck the landing on that, Cam.
This is a lesson in life. You should never be afraid to be yourself, as long as who you are being is good and talented.
If I say everybody has their own hidden talents. Once you find that talent within yourself, then be yourself.
I can do this. Ready?
Be that, John.
Yeah. Be the blah 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 blah. Speaking of the talents within yourself, I want to make sure that we have a little what do you even call this? Little game interlude, which is the segment of the show where we will throw random scenarios at you, Cam. By the way, do you prefer Cameron, or do you go by Cam sometimes?
I think you're the first people to ever actually call me Cameron.
Awesome. Cameron it is.
But anyway. I'll accept it for this special occasion.
Perfect. We're going to throw some wacky, zany scenarios at you, and on the fly, you will reenact them with your wonderful voice talents to the best of your ability. So I have been sitting on one for a bit, which I'm going to hit you with now. So I would like to hear a rendition of an Icelandic farmer reading the nursery fable Baba Black Sheep to a group of West Texas nursing home patients.
Okay. Why, hello there, students. Welcome to our poetry session. I am from Iceland. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one from Iceland who sounds like this. All of my neighbors, they sound nothing like this, but this is my Icelandic side. No, what are you talking about? I'm not from Ireland. I'm from Iceland. You sit your butt down, you little child. I'm going to read you a poem now. Here we go. Baba Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. 1 for me, my master, 1 for me gang, and 1 for the little one who lives down the lane. Oh, I thank you for having me. Top of the morning to you. I'm from Iceland, not Ireland. Thank you very much.
Very good.
That was awesome. That was
good.
Fun.
John,
well, Cam, you. Okay. I want to hear a 14-year-old high school girl super excited to get on the cheerleading team, but then a dragon eats her coach. So she screams so much because of that she turns to a French individual. Go.
Becky girl, I need to tell you something right now. First of all, I made it. I made the cheerleading squad. I know, right? It's crazy. I wasn't sure I was going to make it, but let's be real. Obviously I was going to make it. So I made it. I'm on the cheerleading squad, but here's where the bad news comes in. A freaking dragon just came in and ate the coach. He ate Coach Reynolds. Who does that? That's so freaking crazy. I was supposed to be the captain of the cheerleading squad, and then the coach got eaten by a freaking dragon, and now the coach is dead, and so now there is no more cheerleading squad, and I don't know what to do with my life anymore. Becky, what are you talking about? I have a French accent. I don't have a French accent now. This is what I sound like when I get angry. I get angry when I don't get to be on the cheerleading squad because a freaking dragon who was eating the coach, and now I'm French all of a sudden. I don't understand. Becky.
Yeah, I never thought I'd hear Becky and dragon in a French accent in the same sentence.
I am just super glad that I can. I'm super glad that I could explain and say something so stupid, and Cam can make me feel like it wasn't that stupid.
Yeah, that's the magic of the Merullo, as they say.
One of the things that I find most different about between, you know, doing an animated project versus doing theater or something like that is just like, and I've said this before, and anyone who asks me about it will say it, just like, what's my big takeaway from working on Sirius? And that is that, you know, for context here, if you're watching this, Cameron recorded his lines that we used literally 2 years ago. And we're still like in the process of putting it all together. After 2 years, like, we're actually using all the things that Cam recorded 2 years ago. And so I guess I want you to like tell me a little bit about, like, you know, when you look at some of these animatics and these storyboards that I send you, do you see yourself or do you see an entirely new character? Like, do you see Lovmin, or do you? Yeah, yeah. Answer that however you wish.
Yeah, no, that's a very interesting question, and it's a little bit of both. Sometimes, and it can be like looking like a drawing of, and I'll hear a recording of myself. I'm being Lovmin, and I can see myself as this character, and then sometime later I'll come right back to this picture and recording and not be able to put the two together at all. It's this very weird dynamic of how it just it sort of comes and goes for me. Like sometimes I can see see my voice with this character, and sometimes I can't, you know.
It's the duality of man.
It is.
Yeah, definitely when it comes to like when you're on a stage, like, it is entirely you. Like, sure, they put you in a costume, they put you in makeup, they give you stage direction, that you take on a new name, and maybe you sing some songs that, you know, you wouldn't normally sing. But in something like animation, it's just so much more difficult. I mean, like, just people don't realize when they watch something like a cartoon that, like, just a simple moment in the animation requires so much. Like, it requires like instruments, it requires the voice actor, it requires the audio mixer, it requires the animators, the background, just like so many people put their hands into just one moment of a cartoon character. So like it's, and I mean, you know, you can like, you watch some like of your favorite cartoons and you're like, oh yeah, that's like my favorite character. Because that's what they are designed to be. They're designed to be a character, a collection of colors and lines with like someone record their voice over it, like, is a character, and we are able to convince our audience that it's a real character. But throughout this process, it's just like there's so many different parts. It feels more like a Frankenstein's monster at this point. I mean, well, Lovmin does create a thing, and his name is Victor.
Ooh, and with that borderline copyright infringement, we leave you with a wonderful episode of Seriously Caffeinated featuring the Cam Merullo, voice of Victor Lovmin. Be on the lookout for our next release. John, how would you characterize the next thing?
That's what you were doing earlier. You were looking like that. No, you were looking this way, and I'm like, why are you looking that way? And it's because
like we're doing the 3 block thing, so I'm looking at Cam right now. But then I realized I can't keep this up the whole episode. You're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, and you're like, what? I'm like,
yeah, I don't know where I am.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Seriously Caffeinated. My name is Sean. Who is that down there?
I don't know.
It's John. That's you.
Oh, it's me. It's me.
Who's that over there? It's Cam. Thank you and have a great night.
Long, long ago,
there lived these joyous, creative creatures called humans, or people. Little bundles of biomatter that inhabited the Earth.
Earth, the third planet from the sun.